Thank you for turning to page 121, and thank you for joining me in my 500th episode on the channel. I started this channel about 2.5 years ago, and I'm on episode 500. I consider that quite a milestone. I have over 100 hours of recorded role-playing information that I've compiled in the last 2.5 years, and I plan on continuing to go. So if you're new to the channel, you've got plenty to catch up on. And if you've been around for a while, I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank my patrons. This channel would not be here without you guys. Thank you. Now to the topic at hand. Out of the Player's Handbook, we're going to take a look at the Limited Wish, Alter Reality, and Wish spells. Now this is going to be just from this source book and a little bit from the DMG. I am not claiming that this is the final word on wishes or anything like that, nor am I going to be exploring all the various Dragon articles and other resources that have dealt with wishes over the years. I'm strictly going to do it from my viewpoint as a DM and sometimes a player, and how we deal with wishes at my table. So these are just the way we do it, and we've been playing for 43 years. So I've encountered wishes from both sides, DM and player, and I'm just going to share some insights on how I deal with them. Also, if you haven't subscribed or become a patron, please do. Want to keep the channel growing for the next 500 episodes. But today, wishes from the Player's Handbook on page 121. The wish spell. One of the ones I got really excited about when I first read through my Player's Handbook way back when. I was brand new to the campaign, to D&D really. We went over to AD&D within the first year of my playing, and I went through and I read these. So we're going to start with the Limited Wish. I'm pretty much just going to relate the spell, and then I might throw some comments in, but I'm going to do an overall look at all this toward the end. So Limited Wish, 7th level spell, range is unlimited, duration special, area of effect. Casting components are V, verbal, casting time special, saving throw special. And it says a Limited Wish is a very potent but difficult spell. It will fulfill literally, but only partially or for a limited duration, the utterance of the spellcaster. Thus, the actuality of the past, present, or future might be altered, but possibly only for the magic user, unless the wording of the Limited Wish is most carefully stated in some limited manner. The use of Limited Wish will not substantially change major realities, nor it will bring up wealth or experience points merely by asking. The spell can, for example, restore some hit points or all hit points for a limited duration lost by the magic user. It can reduce opponent hit probabilities or damage. It can increase duration of some magical effect. It can cause a creature to be favorably disposed to the spellcaster, and so on. The Limited Wish can possibly give a minor clue to some treasure or magic item. Greedy desires will actually end in disaster for the wisher. Casting time is the actual number of seconds at 6 per segment to phrase the Limited Wish. So basically, a Limited Wish is it's a light version of Wish. It's Limited Wish. And it tells us that right in the title. And it says here that it can give you back some of your hit points. Well, it's a 7th level spell, and a heal spell for clerics is a 6th level spell. So I will allow a wish to work as basically a heal spell. You won't get all back, you'll get all but 1 to 4. I'll let it pretty much duplicate that. I'll let the Limited Wish extend your time of your fly spell for, and as long as this duration, the greatest duration I can get out of this spell. So, in this case, it's a 7th level spell again. I would go ahead and I would double or triple the duration of the fly spell and things like that. Using it to charm something, yeah, I would probably allow that. I would be a little stingier with that one than just about anything else. Altering hit and damage for something else, I'm kind of stingy on that too. But Limited Wish is definitely, it's got its place in the game. So now we're going to skip Wish, and we're going to go right to Alter Reality. And I'm going to come back to Wish. So here we go. Alter Reality, right up here. 7th level spell, range unlimited, duration, area of effect, components, casting time, and saving throw are all special. The Alter Reality spell is similar to the 7th level magic user Limited Wish. In order to affect the magic fully, the illusionist must depict the enactment of the alteration of reality through the casting of phantasmal force, as well as verbalization in a limited form before the spell goes into action. So he has to actually depict it. So if he wants to heal himself, he being the caster wants to heal himself, he has to actually depict through an illusion, phantasmal force. I allow it to be any illusion. It can be off a wand of illusion. He has to depict himself actually being wounded and then feeling better and getting stronger because he's been healed. I kind of like that. It's a nice little touch for a spell that is otherwise almost identical to a 7th level limited wish. This again is 7th level. I would allow it to act as a heal spell, no problem. I would allow it to act as a teleport no error if that was the wish. Again, the wording of the wish is what's going to be important. And we're going to get to that now as we go to a full-blown wish. Here we are, wish. Level 9, range unlimited. Special duration of area of effect. Component is verbal. Casting time is special. And saving throw is special. The wish spell is a more potent version of limited wish. If it is used to alter reality with respect to hit points sustained by a party, to bring a dead character back to life, or to escape from a difficult situation by lifting the spellcaster and his or her party from one place to another, it will not cause the magic user any disability. Other forms of wishes, however, will cause the spellcaster to be weak, -3 on strength, and require 2 to 8 days of bed rest due to the stresses the wish places upon time, space, and his or her body. Regardless of what is wished for, the exact terminology of the wish is likely to be carried through. And then it says parenthetically, this discretionary power of the referee is necessary in order to maintain game balance. As wishing another character dead would be grossly unfair, for example, your DM might well advance the spellcaster to a future period where the object is no longer alive, putting the wishing character out of the campaign. He could then just presumably wish himself back, but they didn't want wish to get out of hand. And I've been in campaigns where wish got out of hand. One of my earliest campaigns out of our immediate group of friends that started playing, I was playing with a friend of a friend, and he was the DM, and he was extraordinarily free with wishes. Now, as the player character recipient of some of those wishes, I smiled and took it and ran. But I would not run my campaign that freely. We had characters at 5th and 6th level getting wishes. And this guy was very free with magic, very free with power, and characters advanced very rapidly through his game. Now, I altered and trimmed back some of those characters, and I've kept them. I've played some of those characters for over 40 years. But I really couldn't play them as written. Now let's talk about the debilitating effects. If you only use it to raise someone from the dead, you don't age. You don't get any ill effect. You don't get the -3 on strength and 2 to 8 days of bed rest. But if you do decide you're going to wish something else, you do get the debilitating effects. Things that we allow with a wish. Raising 1 ability point, one ability score by 1 point per wish. I know it's supposed to be 10 wishes for 1 point. I've never, ever bought into that. I allow it to be a 1 for 1. If I use a wish, I wish this, my dexterity was the greatest it could be through the power of this wish, and my dexterity is a 16, I would allow, as the DM, I would allow that dexterity to go to a 17. I have no problem with that. I would allow it to be permanent. I would not allow it to be subject to dispel magic or anything like that. It would just become part of the character. It's just how I view it. I know a lot of people are screaming right now at their TVs saying, no, you can't do it that way. That's not what's written. I know that's not what's written. That's kind of where I'm headed. The other part of this is from the Player's Handbook, of course, was written in 1978. The next shoe drops in 1979 in the Dungeon Master's Guide. We go to the section under aging, and we find unnatural aging. Certain creatures will cause unnatural aging, ghosts do, in addition to various magical factors that can do so. The following magic causes loss of lifespan, aging the practitioner as indicated. Longevity potions and possibly other magic means will offset such aging to some extent. So it would be possible, if I were to age by casting a wish spell, that I could then drink a potion of longevity and undo the aging. So if I cast an alter reality, I age 3 years. A gate, 5 years. Limited wish, 1 year. Restoration, 2 years. Resurrection, 3 years. Wish, 3 years. Imbibing a speed potion, I age a year, and a haste spell, I age a year. Interesting. This is another way to control the players, to take away some of their free action, just so that the DM didn't have everybody running amok all the time with wishes. I've never liked magical aging. due to that, the only magical aging that I really enforce is from drinking a potion of speed or being under a haste spell. Those are nice limiters. Those are pretty low level, pretty commonly available abilities. A haste spell is only a third level spell, magic user spell. I don't have a problem with that having the negative effect. I do have a negative effect of 3 years aging for an alter reality, but only 1 year for a limited wish when the text says that they're the same darn thing. They're the same power level, they're the same everything, yet you age an extra 2 years as alter reality. And aging 3 years for a wish, that would be in addition to the -3 strength and being bedridden for 2 to 8 days. That's a heck of a penalty. I understand why it's there. It's a game balance thing. I don't want my players going nuts, blah, blah, blah. I have several players who have gotten to 18th level and even higher as magic users. Theoretically, they could cast a wish a day. If I had the aging, then they would age tremendously. Okay, that begs the question, if a potion of longevity can reverse the effect of the aging, couldn't I just use a wish to reverse the effects of the aging? And my answer is, if a potion can do it, why couldn't a full-blown wish? So that kind of opened a door for me, and I thought, well, why am I even worrying about the aging effect if I can simply wish it away? So in my game, I don't have the limitation. I don't add aging if any of these spells are cast except for imbibing the speed potion and the haste. I don't penalize with any of the others because honestly, aging the caster of a resurrection spell 3 years and a restoration 2 years, that's a pretty powerful hit. And something that most people would be reluctant to do. You're giving up some of your own lifespan to bring back a total stranger for 50,000 gold pieces. You wouldn't do it. So it's another one of the things where there's something to put in there to kind of limit the players, but I also think it kind of turns around and kind of bites the game itself. So I've just kind of arbitrarily thrown those aging things out. The other stuff, the bed rest and the -3 strength, yes, I do enforce that. It ends up not being as important as you would think, since most wishes are not done, at least at my table, most wishes don't happen during time in a dungeon. Usually any kind of wish off of a spell is done in the safety of your keep. Now let's talk about the actual wording of a wish and how you can crock players, as the books say. I am very particular about how the wish is worded. I do not allow the word "and" in there. I wish to be the smartest and handsomest bard on the planet. No, it's one wish. You can be the smartest or you can be the handsomest. You can't be both. So you have to pick a lane. You cannot try to get multiple things. I don't want, the maximum dexterity and strength I can get out of this wish. No, it's one or the other. Oh, incidentally, if a player did wish for a level, if they went up to a level, I would allow that, and they would go to 1 point over the halfway point to their next level. So if they were 13th level, they would go to 14th level, halfway plus 1 point. That is something I allow. Again, you have to use wording like, I wish to use the power of this magic to make me the most skilled fighter I could be, and then I would say, okay, then, because I make them keep it in game terms. I don't let them ask for full hit points back. They have to discuss life force and things like that. I don't require the players write wishes down. I just strongly encourage it, because I will stick a player, and once they start casting the wish, they cannot stop. So if they get a ring of 3 wishes, for instance, and they decide they're going to use one of the wishes, once they say the words "I wish," the spell is rolling. If at that point they start and ahhing and fumbling through it, they've blown the wish. And I am very strict on that. The other thing I'm strict on is where the wish is coming from. If I'm getting I've gotten a bottle, a genie, and I've uncorked a genie, and the genie will grant me 1,001 days service or 3 wishes. I'll take the 3 wishes. The genie is chaotic good. As long as I have been decent in my treatment of the genie will interpret my wish pretty benignly. If it's a horribly worded wish, no, then the genie is not going to do anything to help me out. But if it's something where there might be a little slip of the tongue or something, the genie is going to go on your side. If, however, this is an Efreet you're dealing with, he's lawful evil, no, he's going to stick to the letter of it, and he's going to try to get you. There's an old dragon cartoon where this guy is leading an infinitely long chain of reindeer, and he's lamenting to another player. He says, my life was good until I got a wish and wished for $1 million. So he got all these male deer. Now he, of course, meant he wanted money. That kind of thing I do to players, and I have in the past. As far as wishes go, they're very rare in my game. The high level characters that can cast them, I've made it known that there will come a point where the gods will kind of tap them on the shoulder and say, "Hey, knock it off," if they are doing too much with wishes. And I don't let them. I don't let them just say, "Oh, I wish I had a displacement cloak." I don't allow that. I wish I had +5 armor. I don't allow that. I let them find maybe how to get +5 armor. I would allow that, but I would not allow them to just wish magic items into being. So that's it. I promised this video for a while. There's some of my thoughts on it. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of rebuttal on this, and I encourage it. And I've also thought that if necessary, I will do a follow-up video to this, depending on the feedback I get, to address any points that might come up. So this isn't necessarily part 1 of the Wish series, but this might be one video of maybe 2, depending on the feedback I get to this video. So that's it. That's all I've got for today, for my 500th episode. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you've used Wish in your game, if it's ruined your game, if it's made your game better. There's a lot of different ways to get Wish in the game. Lots of magic items that give it. Some various spells, a scroll, a devil. There's a lot of ways to get Wish in this game. So it really is up to you as the player to work with your DM, and for your DM to work with your player to try to get the best out of it that you can. But the DM should not be soft as far as granting what is actually worded. The DM should make them be very careful about it and wish appropriately. So that's all I've got today from page 121. I want to thank you for 500 episodes, and the one tomorrow will be 501. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.